Well, how safe are our skies? It's an issue that has taken flight ever since the crash of Flight 3407 nearly 5 years ago in Clarence Center. News 4's Ed Dranch just traveled to Florida to get a behind-the-scenes look at how some of the new pilot training measures are coming into place on all airlines in this country. We're going to learn much more about his trip to JetBlue University tonight on News 4 at 5, but he joins us now for a sneak preview on the couch. Ed, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
I wasn't even aware that you went over down to Florida to cover this story, but what was it like?
So this is something that's really fascinating because all pilots across the board, because of the the crash of Flight 3407, have to be trained to encounter bad weather and mid-air stalls, and that's essentially what those two pilots were facing the night that 3407 crashed over Clarence Center. Nearly 5 years later, here we are, and now because of the crash, all pilots across the board are going to have this training. So that's why we decided to go down to JetBlue University in Orlando, Florida. Ultimately,
what was it like? Who did you interview?
So
what
this is JetBlue University. This is their cockpit simulator. Each one is retrofitted to fit one of the planes that JetBlue flies. So this is the Embraer 190, which is a flight that often makes an appearance in Buffalo, essentially. It goes from JFK to Buffalo and all across the country. So they mimic everything that the pilot would see in the cockpit, the sounds, the sights, and it feels like you're flying. Each one of these machines costs $15 million. So here we are walking around JetBlue University in their simulators. I mean, their room is just a warehouse full of simulators, and pilots from all across the country come here to get their training, essentially.
What interesting access you got. And you actually got to get in the simulator cockpit and try it out yourself?
I take control of the plane. It's not pretty. But that's just the point. I mean, this is not something easy. This is not something for everyone. So this is something that, you know, people skillfully have to do, and that's just why they're training people, so that we're safe in the skies. It's a direct result of a crash of Flight 3407.
And what did the people who are administering this training think about the new measures of training because of the crash?
Well, here's the thing. At JetBlue University, or at JetBlue, period, they're already implementing these things. So this is kind of a voluntary process for airlines up for the next 5 years. But come 2019, all of these measures have to be implemented no matter what. So, you know, I think that they appreciate the standards and they appreciate the vigor that their pilots go through, because really they are a name-brand airline and, you know, have a good safety record.
And since you've been back, have you caught up with any of the Flight 3407 families about your experience?
We've chatted. I mean, obviously, the rule went into effect just a couple of weeks ago, so we saw them just a couple of weeks ago. You know, and all of them were very happy. This is something that they've been working for since the crash, you know, in honor of their loved ones. So out of triumph and tragedy comes something that's so wonderful to keep all of the rest of us safe in the sky.
All right, so the full piece airs tonight on News 4 at 5 o'clock. What else will people find out?
Basically, you're going to see how pilots are trained, and that's the bottom line here. And again, a direct result of the crash of Flight 3407.
All right, sounds like it was an interesting learning experience
Absolutely.
for you. I think you should have deserved a little certificate of achievement from JetBlue University.
I don't know, I'm not that good.
Diploma or something. All right, Ed Dranch, News 4 reporter, part-time pilot. Thanks for joining us on the couch this morning. Now it's over to Emily for her weekly Report It recap. Hey.